I deserve this.
Yeah, you do.
Hi, Holding. So I think we are setting up the meeting for live streaming. And that's great. Okay. We are live streaming, everybody. Welcome. So I'm going to spread the link around here in 1 second. And try to get people in the world to know that we are, despite still being 10 minutes left in the Maple Leafs game.
So you guys are you guys gonna win?
6-1, buddy.
What if Tampa comes back in 6 minutes?
I don't think that's happening.
Think it's happened? No, not tonight.
No, it's definitely not happening. What about the Brooks Bandits?
Oh yeah, that Tampa Bay Toronto Maple Leafs Bandits play. That'd be.
What's going on with your audio there? It's like cutting in and out and
Cutting in and out. Why is it doing that?
Yeah, that's what we're asking you, Brandon.
Oh,
You're the only one who can answer that.
I'm the only one that can answer that, eh? Wow.
In theory.
this is like all the people who show up right away for the beginning of the show, they get to, So what you do is if this isn't live when you watch it, what you do is you just skip ahead the first 5 minutes because we have no idea what's going on. And 6-1 Toronto. I don't know why my camera's got that glitchy flicky thing, and I hate it.
My audio is bad. Okay.
I'm glitchy flicking. Your audio is bad. Did you know that there was $100 million gold heist today?
Oh, yes.
Sweet.
I saw that.
Do tell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows the trouble. Okay, sorry.
Because it's gone.
Right.
Well, it should be. Hence, that's the whole purpose of a heist, is to remove it. Find something of value and aggressively remove it.
So it's not a matter of where a bunch of like Val Kilmer wasn't shooting M16s. This was just, what I'm saying? Like, this was no crazy. I'm so busy watching the Leafs. I need you guys to really carry the conversation for a couple minutes.
Well, I think one way to fix my audio is going on my big old mic here. And that means I have to go to the other camera.
A glowing microphone that looks suspiciously like a bong, but is in fact a microphone.
Well, it's not so bad now, but it was bad at first.
Oh, so it's got better. Okay.
Yes, it's kind of normal now.
I mean, we can hear you.
It wasn't normal before, and we hated it.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the temperatures. Been looking at temperatures, Brandon.
Yeah, it's been a little chilly over here. That's probably why you're all in short sleeves and I'm in a long sleeve shirt today because
I got a fire going right next to me and it's quite warm.
Well, it's snowing outside my window.
Of course, Corey Perry scores. I hate that guy.
To be fair, I mean, today was pretty hurricane-ish around here. It's as close as we've had to a weather event in a while, is that we had a huge windstorm. And of course, it's on recycling day, so there's tons of loose paper and garbage blowing everywhere.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, we'll have to ask you about that because I do, definitely we had like 110 kilometer an hour wind projections up on the central coast. So
I think the strongest wind was Solander Island at 169 kilometers an hour.
169?
Yeah.
What?
I'd want to be there to witness that. Oh, yeah. I'll pull it up here. Hold on. Oh, I can't do that.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
All right. Okay, so I'll show you that. So I did take a screenshot of it, and whoop, here we go. Up there, yeah. It's, they peaked at 169, but yeah, those were the sustained winds earlier today. as of
So
lunch.
that brings up the next question that everyone's wondering, which is where the hell is Solander Island?
Solander Island, right off the, I believe, right off the tip there, Vancouver Island area. Yeah.
On the
Gotcha.
north or south?
North tip there. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
see, I don't know. I've never been to Solander Island.
It's pretty close to, I'd say, Winter
Port
Harbor,
Hardy.
Port Hardy area there.
Yeah, it's pretty close to Port Hardy, Port Alice area. That's a weird little. That tip of the island is weird. It's all like primary industry. It's a weird little pocket of like townships and bear country. So it's a really good place if you want to just disappear. You can just go up there and get lost in a forest and hang out with cougars and bears and giant mice, and yeah, super cool area too. Lots of hidden lakes. Good hiking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually spent a summer there.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
did.
it's great. Added bonus is that like 80% of our natural environment is edible. It's non-toxic, not just non-toxic, but it's like edible. And a lot of it's actually really tasty if you know what to do with it. So a lot of people doing like survivalist adventures, like to tour around the island and whatnot. But the northern tip has some of the most diverse foliage and like flora growing up there, which is absolutely fantastic. Mid-island is great for sea life, like for beaches where you can just find edible animals and whatnot. But the northern tip is a lot of foliage and salad, which is absolutely phenomenal.
And salmon. Oh
Yes. Oh, the whole island is infested with salmon, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's an infestation. But the northern tip, they've got a lot of eagles, like wild eagles just cruising around, and then like lots of salmon and bears. I lived there as a kid, and so I was used to seeing. It was just part of my childhood to see tons of eagles just touch down during salmon spawning. And then coming down to the southern tip of the island where, you know, you go to school and we're being told constantly how endangered they are. And I'm like, no, you just go outside and look at them. There's a window right there. Do you guys not just, why do you think they're endangered? I didn't realize that they're not super common here. I happened to be in an area where there was tons of them. It's really neat. And then, yeah.
Kind of cool here. Now I've never seen eagles out here in southern Alberta. Now about 3 years ago and into today, we've got eagles out here, which is kind of cool.
I saw golden eagles when I lived in Alberta like 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Floating up the thermals on their way north. They in the spring catch a free ride. So I think Corey Perry just got ejected from the game or something. I don't know. 7 minutes up to go. 6-2 Toronto.
What's really neat is watching eagles be playful. They're predatory animals, so you don't think of predators as being particularly playful, but they really are. And so, like Joey mentioned, watching them just play on the thermals, they'll just play. And watching them, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not hunting. It's not like some weird mating thing. They're just straight up being playful.
You were incorrect in this case. The golden eagles in the prairies use the thermals for migrating. So they catch the thermal very, 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 very high. Then they coast along until they get pretty low, and then they catch the next one. If you sit there and watch them, they will very quickly go all the way up. You know, I was somewhere near Nat and watched them, and I could imagine that. Oh, and within an hour, that guy's like 2 hours. That guy's way past Calgary. So without having really flapped things once.
Oh, they'll definitely use the air currents for transportation, but I mean, they do get playful as well. Like they'll just stay in an area. They'll just play around above a lake and just hang out, play around, and then go nest, go to sleep or eat a fish at some point. But they do get playful. It's neat.
So we got a power play for the Leafs, 6-2. Oh, it feels so good. Hilding, what do you got for us this week?
Well, we were talking about eagles here, and I should just mention what I saw a couple of years ago. I got to watch a pair of bald eagles mating, which they say is very rare. And they were nesting next to a cabin. We were putting a roof on the cabin and nobody lived in it. So they weren't very used to having people around. So they just went about their business, and they were up in the tree mating, and we got to watch them. It's really interesting.
Wow.
That is positively filthy. Just
They do that
dirty.
thing where they fly and they spin and they like fuck each other in the air.
Yeah, it's sort of a dance sort of a thing. It's interesting to watch. it's not that you actually see them mate, it's that you see them actually interacting with each other. And it's a real unique sort of a thing. They would jump off the tree and catch each other in midair, sort of thing.
Oh,
It's the sexiest mosh pit you'll ever see. You're seeing the choreography, but it's a very sexy mosh pit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, this is a wonderful experience watching this game. Of course, when Frankie gets here, the game will be over, and I'll be a little less sidetracked. It's terrible Stanley Cup hockey. I mean, that's why I've always been happy when the Leafs lose in the playoffs, because then it's just over. I can get on with my life in the spring. I've been waiting all spring for my life to. Why is it jumpy like that? I don't get it. That jumpiness. What do you got this week, Brandon?
Jump around. Oh, yeah. So I'll talk about the storm of the prairies. Pretty nasty snowstorm, way burn over 50 centimeters of snow. So they're going to be digging up for a couple of days. And yeah, we'll talk about it's going to be pretty quiet weather coming up next weekish. Yeah, pretty quiet. But other than that, had a little snow today and it melted. It's gone. But I'm happy about that. And it looks like we're finally warm up a little bit next week. It's like, what's their temperature right now? Yeah, it's like -1. So it's freezing. Out.
Right. We do have some positive forecasts in the future, though, don't we, for most of Western Canada?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm on about.
And then the Brooks Bandits begin their AJHL final tomorrow night. Spruce Grove Saints. Pesky Spruce Grove Saints.
At least have a 2-man advantage right now. 5 minutes to go in the game. Pressing 6-2 score.
Oh, we better score.
Oh, they just did. 7-2. Trickled over the line.
Right over the line.
The captain just got a hat trick.
Boy, better throw your hats. Yeah.
7-2. That feels good after. I mean, it was ugly. Game 1 was ugly. Game 1 was ugly. What do you got this week, Imogen?
I mean, major windstorm here, which is kind of cool. Wind has so far been between 70 and 90 kilometers an hour, expected to be up to 110. BC ferries are obviously going to be canceling some sailings because it would be really irresponsible to just keep sailing in that. Yeah, hell, Africa's splitting into 2, which is kind of neat. There's been some continental drift going on over there. I had another magazine interview printed, which finally released, a month overdue. So yeah, solid interview in that. And update on Sabian. He came out of his surgery and he's doing well. He's got a lot more treatment and whatnot to go to deal with his glioblastoma, but his surgery went smooth and he's doing as good as he can be right now. That's my week.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, and there's some rock formations on Mars that look like dragon bones, which is super cool. It looks like a dragon coiling through the dirt, but it's just like rock formations that look like dragons. So Mars is therefore officially infested with dragons.
Already we have people watching tonight, and I'm completely distracted by the hockey game. So you are getting a very slow start to tonight's Comedeorological. See, what we do is we record the show at 7 p.m. This is just sort of a live streaming of us having our Zoom call. So we record the show starting at 7 p.m. and anything that gets said in that hour becomes the basis for the show, most likely. And we throw extra stuff in, videos that people send us through the week. And we put the show out on TV, YouTube, radio. Imogen, talk to us about our new time slots.
About our new time slots. Let me go back and dig that up here. 1 second. We are now officially going to be on in the greater Victoria area. Let me see when that is. I sent that to you earlier. You know what? I should have had this on hand already, but no.
Really?
I know. Yeah, so the first episode is going to be airing Monday, April 24th at 7 a.m. It's going to be replayed Tuesday, the 25th at 9 a.m. Then again on Wednesday, April 22nd at 10 p.m. and Friday, the 28th at 9 p.m., which is super cool. We also have, we're also going to be airing in, I believe it's Duncan, Cowichan Valley area as well, in a separate time slot. So yeah, let me dig that one up because it's lost in my email. I was looking at it earlier. Yeah, so Duncan, Cowichan area broadcast times: Monday, April 24th at 7 p.m., Wednesday, April 26th, 11 a.m., and Friday, April 28th at 6 p.m. So 2 different areas, but 7 time slots, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty nice, right? So, and people have been saying to me, like, when's your show on TV? And I'd say, I don't know.
Eventually.
You must be lying.
Yep, eventually. It's the process of getting on the air, the process of approvals. There's paperwork that needs to be done, and the process is what it is. It can take a little bit, but we are on the air. The first episode that is going to be airing will be the interview with our storm chasers from pre-ChaserCon. It was a very focused episode. It was very linear, and it was also just, the content was not exactly time specific, so that was a really good one to work on to develop for broadcast. So going forward, the next one that we'll be going to air is the one with Hank Leestra from post ChaserCon, and then this one, once we're in our routine, this one will be the next one that gets on the air.
See, it would be nice if they because C4 radio puts it out on Saturday morning. And then I'm like because this is weather news, right? We're trying to be current, and then CKUW puts it on Monday, and already we're like, wow, that's tough. But so like I hope sometime we get into like a rhythm where they're actually playing current shows.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening. That's how it's working out, is that once this is the process of getting caught up, getting through the paperwork and whatnot to get on the air was a process, but the first 2 episodes that will air are not time sensitive. Most of what we talk about is specific to ChaserCon and the events.
No, those are great choices. I agree.
Right. So once those 2 air, then realistically, like, we could use this episode or use next week's episode to be the follow-up one, so that we're on track with things being completely current. But it is also good to have content that we can have just available to pull from. So like, we're producing content and this is all good. So we are now officially on the air. We've got our time slots, 4 time slots for the Greater Victoria area and 3 time slots for the Duncan Cow Valley area as well, which is awesome.
Well, there you go. We're a TV show. It's actually happening. And I told you I wasn't lying, but I started to not believe it either. I was like, am I lying?
Process.
Is Imogen lying to me? Are people lying? So $100 million worth of gold stolen today in Pearson International Airport. I mean, do you guys know about this yet?
Well, I saw your post, so I shared it. So I saw it.
And nobody knows anything.
And then the other story I probably should have shared in my last little bit there earlier that I sent you is a bear in BC broke into a car and got into some pop.
Oh yeah, he drank like 12 cases of pop or something?
69 pops, yeah.
He drank 69 pops, but he didn't drink the diet pops.
No, he didn't
it's not food.
I bet
there's no the difference between aspartame, huh?
Yeah, probably the aspartame.
I want to say it was probably like 10 years ago now, a bear wandered into a Subway sandwich shop in downtown Vancouver. Now, how it got through downtown Vancouver without being like run over or just people whipping rocks and stuff at it, I don't know. But a bear broke out of a zoo. I don't know. Wandered into a Subway restaurant, did not eat any of the food there. It did not recognize the produce behind the counter as plants. It's food that the bear would normally eat, things there that it would normally eat, and it didn't recognize it as food. What does that tell you about Subway? It is not food.
I mean, it's not the worst, but I hate when because you're like, oh, I might as well get like a 20-inch sandwich because it's cheaper because I'm Dutch. It's like, well, per gram, and I do the math, you figure, well, it's cheaper to buy a big sandwich. So you buy a big sandwich, and then 3 hours later, you go to eat more of it, and it's like a fucking sponge.
See, this is what I like about Subway. The things that I like about fast food are not the things that the restaurants want us to like about it. I like that Subway is not food. When I want to eat garbage, I eat takeout. And Subway counts. It is I don't eat it with the idea that this is health food, because it's not. If a bear doesn't recognize it as food, it's because it's not. Appreciate it on its own level. Appreciate it for its honesty and purity of being bad and unhealthy and a sponge of condiments with unpronounceable ingredients.
Just dripping.
Yes, it should
goo
be.
Pouring out. It's like, no, come on. Like,
it should be.
A good sandwich is like a teen burger or something. You like my playoff beard? 2 minutes and 53 seconds. I haven't shaved like all week. It's crazy.
I know.
Not shaving. I hate not shaving, actually. It sucks.
Maybe it's my screen, but I'm not seeing much of a beard. Like I feel like I've got a heftier beard than you do right now.
Peach fuzz.
It's only been 2 days, dude.
Then why are you calling it a beard? At that point, it's just a little stubble, man. I mean,
Jeez.
like, I mean, okay, like, I don't know if you can see anything here, but in my family, ladies,
I stopped looking
have...
at your face months ago.
Good. Yeah, you did. In my family, by the time women get like 10 years below where I am now, they've got like a noticeable little stash. They're looking a little Tom Selleck-y. The goatee is coming in. There's like tufts of werewolf hair growing out of their face and forehead. I come from a family of mutants.
The fuck are you talking about?
Oh, see, okay, now there. See, I can see it there. Look at that.
And your skin is smoother, hairier than mine.
When you get close to the camera, yes, now I can see it. But from a distance, no, I don't know. Maybe it's just my monitor is just filtering out your face or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I wasn't seeing a whole lot.
No, that's just your subconscious filtering out my face.
I'll give you credit for
most
that
things
one.
I say. Yeah. So, okay, 5 minutes. So, Frankie, you guys got something to talk about for 2 minutes?
About your beard?
Well, bringing us back to the weather. This week it's been crazy here. It's like every morning I go out and I do my doorstep weather report, and it looks like the sun's going to come out, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon we get a terrible snow squall. It looks like there's going to be an inch of snow, but then it's all melted by supper time.
Awesome. Like 2 centimeters of snow on the ground this morning. It's all gone. That's how I like it.
Yeah.
Time of year.
It's just April, I guess.
Yep, April. If it was January, the snow would be still on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
April, sun's a little stronger, a lot more daylight.
Well, it seems like the air just absorbs the moisture so well in April, too.
Yeah, it does. So that's the loveliness of April snow. It just disappears. I didn't even bother shoveling. I was like, oh, it's going to be gone by the end of the day. And it's gone. I think I got a photo of this.
For photos. Awesome. Look, I think Brandon froze. Wow. Great. Hi, Brandon. Bye, Brandon. Come back, Brandon. And don't leave
There
us.
is the picture.
Ooh.
There, that's not what I want. I'm not leaving.
Well, that's good. You froze. I thought you just like ditched us.
Oh.
I was worried.
You were worried. Well, I'm just sharing this photo of the snow I took earlier today. That's gone.
Very cool.
And now I'll show you the melt. Now I can turn this around, and that's what it looks like now. It's gone.
Wow.
Wow. That's kind of cool. Middle Island got pelted with a whole lot of snow yesterday, I believe it was.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw some photos floating around just of like Campbell River being doused in snow. And I was a little jealous because
Look at
yesterday
that.
was sunny here. Wow.
That- We're in Saskatchewan. That's what they get to dig out of.
50
That is
centimeters,
awesome.
eh?
Yeah, 50 centimeters. Over 50.
Wow.
Still snowing there. Actually.
As you can see out my window, the snowbanks of Wells are about 2 feet shorter than last week, maybe a foot.
You're getting a little brown too.
That's why I don't like this time of year. A lot, because like we went and got wood yesterday. We found a logging road down lower that was open where they've been doing some new work and some shutdowns going on. So there's no machines there. So we were able to safely, and I dropped this tree. It's about so big, this pine, and it must be like 150 years old. The rings are so tight. The thing is so solid. So, sometimes I hate when they're opening up new logging roads. At the same time, I'm right there getting those beautiful dead trees that are just the choice pick. And it was the most pure, clear, hot burning pine I've seen in a long time. No punk in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, largely you can't, it's like you got a snowshoe in the afternoon and you sink. Oh, why is my camera jumpy like that? It's so terrible.
Yeah, what have
Or-
you done to it?
I
Usually-
didn't do it.
And we're doing that.
And and then there's just everything's it's not even pretty.
A little dirty snow. Don't eat that
Mhm.
kind. By the way, kids, don't eat brown or yellow snow.
No, you only eat it if your older brother hands it to you and tells you it's something else.
That's
It's
right. There
frozen
you
lemonade. Eat it. It's delicious. Anyone who has siblings knows this. Is you give them something disgusting and try to make them eat it, but try to make them eat it on their own.
Hey,
'Cause that's
guys,
the
maybe go play
challenge.
upstairs.
Is the art form is getting them to do it and to enjoy it and to thank you for it. The art of being a jerk to your
Oh, yeah.
little brother.
30 seconds left. 30 seconds. This game dragged on because Tampa did not like getting beaten 7-2.
Do we do a
7 on the
countdown?
button. Do we have Frankie?
We will pretty soon. 15 seconds left in the game.
14, 13,
No, you're already late. 9.
11,
There you go.
Frankie Mack
Eight.
is on his way.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Are you doing
Three.
a countdown to Frankie or
Okay.
countdown to?
There.
One.
Now I can stop looking at the hockey game.
Game's over.
Look at all the fans freaking out. I got to look at that for a second.
Oh yeah.
That's a good sign. Oh, I hate the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I don't like them either. They took us away from our Stanley Cup 2004.
Yeah, and that was a dirty steal. That honestly, that third period, that goal callback was ridiculous. I watched it and I hated it. Frankie is in his house tonight. Wow.
house?
Hey, I'm turning off the hockey game and I'm gonna
Ah!
and yeah, it's no wind blowing or nothing. Just pure Frankie.
Wow, Frankie's back in his office.
Okay, let's start. Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg, and hello, Victoria on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I guess, and Cowichan Valley sometime, and CFBX Kamloops, I don't know when, late night sometime. Wow, we're the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey Only. I'm your host. I'm here in Snowy Wells, British Columbia, up in the Cariboo Mountains, and I'm here with my panel of cometeorologists. Cometeorology is a science I started. The science of comedy plus meteorology, because the weather is funny business. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada, and suck it does indeed. So we got the man himself, Frankie McDonald. This week he's in his house, so that tells you the weather must be pretty bad in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And the rest of our panel of meteorologists, of course, Brandon Houck, the radio weatherman down there in Brooks, Alberta, as per always. Imogen Cookie Bailey, our associate producers down there in Victoria, with all the news on how we're now a TV show, so that's good. Thank you, Shaw Spotlight. We're glad to be on with you. And Hilding Donaldson is out in Grassy Plains, and he's got stories about eagles mating and all kinds of stuff. So our top story tonight is $100 million worth of gold has been stolen from Pearson International Airport. And we got lots of other wacky news. Okay. But first,
There's a lot
Frankie
of
McDonald, he's the man. How you doing so far, Frankie?
I'm doing good so far. There's a major windstorm in Vancouver Island as of right now. It's a very, really bad windstorm in Vancouver Island, in Victoria, Nanaimo.
Really?
Donkey.
Is there? Tell me
It's a
more.
lots of rain in Vancouver Island doing snow in the mountains. And they had a big snowstorm in Regina, Saskatchewan, in Estevan, Saskatchewan, in southwestern Manitoba. There's a Weyburn, Saskatchewan had so much snow this week. Then it got some more snow and rain. Lots of snow in parts of Minnesota. It's heading towards Kenora and Dryden and all these places in Ontario. Lots of low pressure systems heading for eastern United States. On my birthday, it's going to bring lots of showers in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, with flurries, including New York. On my birthday is April 24th. I'll be 39 years old on April 24th, 2023. I'll be 39 years old. Then it's going to bring cold temperatures all the way down to Washington, D.C. on my birthday.
So it's going to be cold in Washington on your birthday. So what you're saying
Yeah.
is that in
York
Washington,
City.
Washington, political epicenter, hell will freeze over on your birthday. Is that what we're hearing?
It's going to bring colder temperatures. It's not going to be snow nor rain in Washington, D.C. on my birthday. It's going to be cold temperatures as well. It's going to bring really dry weather in California, including Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, and with chance of showers in New Mexico, in Colorado, and those places. It's going to bring. And there's another low pressure system going to develop after my birthday on Wednesday off the southeastern United States. Going to bring more tornadoes to Georgia and thunderstorms to Tennessee and those places.
Who has the worst weather in the world, Frankie? I mean, Weyburn, Saskatchewan's getting 50 centimeters of snow.
Yes,
50 centimeters of snow on April 20th.
It was really, really bad in Saskatchewan, Canada. It was so bad in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Venezuela, Colombia, including Peru, Ecuador, and those places, including Brazil, northern Brazil. And northern Chile is really dry, and southern Brazil is drier than normal, including Argentina. It's really, really dry weather going on in Argentina. And northern Chile, those places, it's in the desert in northern Chile, it's been really dry lately as well. And over in places like up in Alaska, it's been really cold up in Alaska. It's gradually getting warmer there. There's a storm off the coast of Alaska, USA. As of right now, over in Europe, lots of cold weather in the United Kingdom, in Norway, Finland, Sweden, and there's lots of showers going on in France and Saturday and Sunday coming up, including all the way up to Finland and Sweden, with up in the mountains and snow up in Sweden and Finland and those places, even western Russia, like Moscow, Russia. It's going to get really cold temperatures as well. And then it's going to warm and cold air fighting each other there. Then it got some showers all across Syria and parts of Turkey and things like this. Lots of showers going on in Europe right now, over around in places like in Japan. There's still really cold up in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan, including lots of rain going on in China right now, including, and from Mongolia, still getting colder temperatures in northern Mongolia as well. In Siberia, including Yakutsk and Magadan, Russia. Like in Magadan, that's in northeastern Russia, it's getting really cold temperatures still, and really windy conditions up in Magadan as of right now. And the places like in South Africa, as of right now in Southern Africa, and weather in South Africa, it's a storm coming off the coast of South Africa, lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Gabon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, with tons of thunderstorms and rain, including Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia. Mozambique will soon be getting the dry season. So Madagascar, Africa, Botswana will soon be getting the dry season as well. Up around in places like in Southwest Pacific, like Australia and New Zealand, and lots of rain going on in North Island, New Zealand, and Eastern South Island, New Zealand. So right now, lots of rain going on right now. And their winter starts on June 21st. Next month, Antarctica will be dark with 24 hours a day again.
Frankie, up in outer space, the Lyrid meteor shower is peaking on April 22nd. So that's your only real chance to see consistent meteorites in the spring. It's one of the few meteorite showers at this time of year. And we got a solar storm going on, which I'm not going to be able to see here in Wells because we are more than clouded over. What else is going on in space this week, Frankie? A giant spaceship exploded.
Yes, I see that on TV. A giant spaceship exploded. That's a really bad thing. They have to do a lot of work. They should do more testing on spaceships.
And they're trying to pretend like they're okay with it exploding. Like, oh, that's okay. Like we gave it a 50-50 chance or something. But I mean, come on, it's the year 2023. We can shoot hypersonic missiles and launch, like.
To be fair, SpaceX has had dozens of successful launches. They've had dozens of successful flight missions with absolutely no incident. This is probably the first incident that has had that kind of disaster. So all in all, they do have a really good track record, which is their track record is they've got more success than other spaceflight agencies. So, I mean, it's certainly not good. We don't want anything like this, but compared to other forms of transport or like just hell, other courier service, which is kind of what SpaceX is. It's exploration and courier effectively.
It's not like sending astronauts up an International Space Station.
Frankie,
they send stuff to ISS and whatnot. But as far as compared to other forms of transport, where we have regular plane crashes, bus accidents, vehicular disaster happens all the time, ferries sink, whatever. For SpaceX to have a single disaster, they're going to learn a lot from this. I have a lot of confidence that they're going to get a lot of benefit from the data they gather from it will be well used. I don't see this happening again anytime soon.
Frankie, do you think that maybe Elon Musk is spending too much time tweeting?
Yes. He'd have to do a lot of testing.
He should tweet less and test more, right?
Test more, test more, test more.
What else is going on in outer space, Frankie?
Frankie, did you see the dragon bones on Mars?
I think Frankie's frozen.
He's just concentrating. He's just focused.
Is he?
No, Frankie's camera is frozen.
I tried to pin him and he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Frankie,
well, at least we got most of the Frankie report in, right? We didn't find out what new videos he made this week, but maybe we'll find out later. Brandon Hauk. How you doing so far this week, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful so far this week. Haven't done much of anything at all for the first time in a month.
Wow. Okay. Well, so the big news really is that this massive storm is going on and it's tracking its way through southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba and now making its way towards Thunder Bay and those kind of places on the north side. And this is there's been a lot of this really bad weather, but it seems like it's going to be stopping soon.
They have to do test more in the International Space Station.
Frankie's back. Testing.
Frankie's back mid-sentence.
And now Brandon's gone. So there we go. Everything's confused.
What is happening with you guys? Brandon, why? Brandon, you never have technical problems.
What? I'm still here. I just muted my video instead of my mute button here. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
This is a little different that this is the first time ever that I'm the only one not having technical problems and all you guys are. It's normally the other way around.
I think it's funny that I ask Brandon questions and he mutes himself. But we'll come back to you in 1 second. Frankie McDonald's sports predictions. Who is going to win the Edmonton hockey series, Frankie, versus Los Angeles?
That means Los Angeles.
Frankie picks Los Angeles to beat Edmonton. I like that prediction. That's a good one.
Choice.
What about Winnipeg versus Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Frankie's picking Las Vegas. He's going All-American. Dare I ask Maple Leafs? Dare I ask Frankie Toronto, Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
Oh.
My man, Frankie. Frankie knows what's
Frankie.
up.
Betting against Canada hard. I'm not going to ask you any questions for a while. I'm scared of what you might say.
You know what? I'm with Frankie on this one. I think Frankie's onto something. He's never wrong. Dude knows what's up.
We just gave him a 7-2 beating, Frankie. What about Brooks Bandits versus the Spruce Grove? Who cares? Oh, he's frozen again. Well, Brandon, what do you think? What about give us your predictions for the Brooks Bandits hockey game tomorrow night?
Well, I think it is definitely going to be a win because I know there's going to be a tailgate party at the CRA tomorrow night. Free hot dogs for the first 400 fans to get there. So if you're in around Brooks and you want a free hot dog, you better hurry. 4:30.
There's the cackle.
Seems like a lot of
cackle.
Seems like a lot of punishment to put yourself through for a hot dog. It's like the game starts at 7, but you stand out. And did you notice that the weather in Brooks isn't nice? Just hang around here for 2 hours before the game.
Yeah.
You're playing the Spruce Grove
The Saints. Yes.
Saints.
The good old Spruce Grove Saints. Yeah.
They're playing the Spruce Grove Stains tomorrow night.
Yep. That's right.
And we're predicting a win. Okay, so tell us about this crazy storm. All the details.
So we've had this Colorado low this week develop in Colorado, obviously, and it moved its way up from Colorado and it moved its way in to Saskatchewan. Right. And the storm stalled over Saskatchewan Wednesday, today, Thursday, the 20th, and it's still going to be there again for tomorrow. And it's dumped a lot of snow. And now we're going to show you how much snow has fallen. Now, for our radio listeners, you'll not be able to see how much snow, but this is a good idea on how much snow. That is Weyburn, Saskatchewan earlier today, 50 centimeters of snow on the ground. Roads closed.
That big thing, that's not a barbecue. That's a table.
Yeah.
With snow on it.
Picnic table with a pile of snow on top of it. And that was one image from Weyburn. And then we've got this image, I believe this one's from Capel, Saskatchewan. People's got their snow blowers out. Not sure how much snow fell there, but still a lot. The Trans-Canada Highway there was closed. So they had to open up a shelter for the night at a town called Indian Head there, just outside of Capel there of Saskatchewan. So that was Capel. And then I'll go to another image from Radville, Saskatchewan. And you can see somebody out there with the snow blower blowing all that snow away. And
awesome.
And he's actually saying to himself, I'm in Radville.
That's right. Rad. Nothing but rad.
Yeah, looked like he was having a totally tubular time there. Definitely, you want to get blowing that snow right away because warmer weather come behind and you're gonna have some real heavy snow.
Yes, that's right. Pretty much back-breaking kind of wet snow to move around. Luckily, the temperature's been below freezing during this event, so we've had some reports of some power outages, but nothing like power snapping kind of wet snow when it's above freezing there. So it's been below freezing, and looks like into next week we're going to stay below freezing for parts of Saskatchewan where we've had that most significant snow. So it's going to be a slow melt for Saskatchewan and Manitoba into next week, but eventually it will start melting and temperatures will start to rebound slowly but surely into next week. Winnipeg hasn't got much of the snow yet, but I believe through Friday here they're going to get probably at least 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, and the blowing snow near blizzard conditions possible in the Winnipeg area on the 21st of April there. So yeah, Winnipeg's still waiting for their big snow to arrive from this slow moving Colorado low. And we've had some snow here in Brooks earlier today as well. We had, I believe, about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. And this is what we need to reboot. Looked like in my backyard this morning, and all that snow that you see there, it's all melted. That's the nice thing about some of these April snow events. They move in and then it all melts away during the day. Well, not really much the sunlight, but still you got enough strength from solar energy, and then you have the day length as well, so it allows it to melt a lot quicker compared to whenever you get a big snow event in January there. So we've got at least another cool day here in Alberta, and then eventually we'll see that warm up through the weekend. Temperatures back to the seasonal average. It looks like we do have some shots of probably some unsettled weather into early next week, maybe a few showers and maybe the odd little rumble of thunder here and there, nothing too significant. And then we'll continue to see that warming trend towards the end of the month.
Now tell us about those freaky geese, man.
Oh, snow geese. So everybody knows what a Canada goose is. Yeah, they're a lot different from Canada geese. As you can tell, you don't normally see snow geese in the city because they're scared of everything. Like you move one, you flinch a little bit over here, or you say something over here, and they're gone. And yeah, the snow geese are well, they're good tasting too. I can tell you that right now. But so snow geese are yeah, they're crazy birds, and they only show up for they only pass through here like late fall, southern Alberta, probably end of October, early November-ish, and then they come up through late March through the early stages of April. This time they've kind of been sticking around for a little longer because of the kind of a late winter season, and then once spring really takes hold here, they're gone, so you don't see them again until late fall. So they're kind of in and out quickly compared to Canada geese, where they stick around all season long. I think snow geese go like to the territories or something. I'm not sure where they go, but yeah, those are snow geese. Annoying kind of birds and very flinchy. Like you'll never get anywhere close to a snow goose in your life. Good luck.
You don't want to scare them off either, because if you have, like, I don't know how many thousands of them were in that flock.
Yeah.
That you had today, but that's a lot of poo. And if I'm a farmer looking out my window seeing 10,000 big geese sitting out there pooing in my field, I'm like, yes.
Manure.
Man, like that is some nitrogen rich feces.
That's right. Well, I know that field's had a lot of cows in it too, so oh yeah, that field's set to grow some corn, you know. Go corn on the cob, manure.
Right. Later in the show, $100 million worth of gold stolen. Mother and son win a lottery 3 times using the same numbers. So there you go. Substitute teacher was fired for encouraging students to fight. And Florida man loses a leg from an alligator. Indian couple decapitate themselves in bizarre human sacrifice. So more on that in the hour. But first, Imogen Cookie Bailey down there in Victoria. How do you like my playoff beard so far?
It's I mean, I get that you're calling it a beard. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of it on my screen. So I'm not sure if it's that it's just new or if it's just that I'm not seeing it because my screen has a certain facial hair filter. It shouldn't. I mean, Hilding's is here in all its glory. Hilding has a mighty beard.
Well, it has to start somewhere. It has to start somehow. What better place than here and now?
What's the time frame on this beard? How long have you been growing it? What is its development at this point?
Like since the playoffs started. Monday.
I don't follow
Tuesday.
hockey. I don't follow hockey or that's football or basketball or figure skating or whatever playoffs you're watching. I don't follow. Okay. I like combat sports. I don't follow non-combat. I don't follow competition.
There was 3 fist fights in the game tonight, and one of the guys, his hands were busted open. The 2 guys were ejected from. What do you mean combat sports? Tampa Bay, Toronto series is a combat sport, man. Holy.
Okay,
and
you make a valid
5
point.
more possible games of it to go.
You make a valid point.
What happened in your more interesting world?
Okay, dudes beating the hell out of each other. You know what? There is a fight tournament coming up on June 3rd here. It's going to be a round 3 boxing tournament. I'm really looking forward to that because that's going to be a whole lot of fighters getting in the ring and punching the hell out of each other, punching each other in the face. The point system is a little different than hockey, so that's coming up, but that's not today. Today we have massive windstorms. Lots of windstorms here. It's delightful. Winds are currently between 70 and 90 kilometers, depending on where you are and what part of a hill you're sitting on. We've had canceled sailings of the ferries. Out on the water, it's expected to get up closer to 110 kilometers. So that's pretty wild. Not as exciting as dudes beating each other up.
Oh, well, Salamander Island there had 160 kilometer an hour winds, Brandon said.
Salamander Island?
Solander Island. Solander, not Salamander.
You know what?
No one lives there. No one.
Okay,
no one
let's
knows where
rename
it
it
is.
Salamander Island because 160 kilometers of winds will blow salamanders all over the place. Little lizards flying everywhere.
So here we
Oh,
go. At noon, 71, gusted to 156, then gusted to 160. Gusted to 160 at 10 a.m. What?
at 11.
That's
at
similar
11,
to
yeah,
Hurricane
okay.
Joey. That's similar to Hurricane Fiona that hit Sydney, Nova Scotia on September 24th, 2022.
How strong were those winds, Frankie?
Very strong like that. Knocked out power for 24 hours and Sydney, Nova knocked out power for a week.
What lost power for a week?
Power outage for the week.
Oh,
Sydney.
lots of places have been losing power with wind like that. Stuff just falls over. It's great. Stuff blows up, it gets knocked over. All of a sudden, movies are real, where things just fly around and explode. Yeah, I like it.
What about you, Hilding Donaldson? What about you up in Grassy Plains, which is actually a place in British Columbia? There's a place in British Columbia that has the name Plains in the name.
Well, we had an interesting one this week. I was visiting at some friend's house. They were living in a log cabin. Well, it was a well-built log house. And the wind blew up and you could feel the wind blowing inside the house. I mean, pretty strong. And all of a sudden, the whole window was totally plastered with snow. About 5 minutes later, the snow all melted.
So blasting up at leaky log cabins. What else up there, Hilding? You've been doing your reports every day, so obviously you got some idea as to the weather in your neighborhood.
Well, like I say, we've been having every morning, it teases us with some nice spring weather. And then by afternoon, we have, between 2 and 4, we've been having snow gusts. And like I say, when we started our viewing this evening, well, even now yet, it's sifting down snow, but it's melting as fast as it's falling. So
I see that.
basically our April weather here is long and drawn out compared to some places. But yeah, we found a little loophole in the market for cattle, and we shipped a bunch of calves that we missed shipping in the fall. We managed to get them shipped today. So the farm keeps on going. The cows aren't having much trouble.
And you got lots of new ones too, I'm sure.
Carried
It's
a dead
calving.
calf for a week, but
It's calving season,
yeah,
so you got new calves.
we got new calves. And I didn't get a chance to get a picture this week. I'm sorry. I'll try to get some clips here. I didn't get out there with my camera when I was out. I forgot my camera in the house. So
Well, you gotta be careful when you're dealing with, because you want to roll up your roll up your sleeves, and you want to take off your rings and watches, and make sure your cell phone's not in your hand either.
yeah, when you go down inside a cow, you got to be real careful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad reception in there, man. It's real bad.
Well, there's not enough light in there to see anything anyway, so it's no use putting your camera in there. But
Well, I'm more concerned about the roaming charges.
yeah, it's another planet, right? Yeah. No, my boss
Awesome.
went out yesterday, and his best cow was acting like she was going to have a calf, and nothing came. So he finally went last night and got inside, found out the calf was dead, and it had been rotting in there for a week. And he was just
God.
totally appalled. because she was his best cow, and now she's not going to be able to calf again. He's going to have to ship her because her uterus got all rotten inside.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to edit a lot of that out for TV.
Okay. Well, that's just what farmers have to go through. I mean, happens. But
Yes, it does, and it's entertaining and absolutely fucking hilarious, but definitely not going to be on TV.
Okay, can we stop saying things I have to edit out now?
Hey, what about Joey? Over in Russia, you're not allowed to have freedom of speech. You're not allowed to talk about railroad tracks over there. You're not allowed to talk about. You're not allowed to say anything about. You're not allowed to take pictures of military bases, government buildings, churches, and dams over in Russia.
You're not allowed to watch the Comedeorological report either. You're listening to us on C for 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9 FM, CFBX 92.5, and Shaw Spotlight TV. This is your show about how much the weather is getting better. We got better weather coming.
I had to reboot the modem earlier because it was acting up. I had to unplug the modem and plug it back in.
So some technical difficulties going on over there. But so Frankie, have you heard? Can Royal Canadian Mounted Police have confirmed that $100 million of the gold was stolen from Pearson International Airport today?
It was ultra bad. Then they have to get the RCMP involved. They have to get the police involved.
This is 3,600 pounds of gold valued at $105 million US. So that's like $1 trillion Canadian dollars.
Oh, check your numbers, man. That equation has shifted recently.
Not by much. But anyways, you get the point. And the thing is, nobody knows anything because it was just gone.
Well, how many suitcases would that fill?
I don't know. It must have been in a laundry truck or something. I bet you it was the laundry guy.
Okay, now hold on. What was the dollar value again?
105 million US.
And that was in gold bars?
Yes, because many gold mines ship gold.
Yeah, gold bars or gold ingots? I
don't know. See, I don't understand how this could happen, because I mean, usually there's like a truck with those guys, and they'll shoot you if if you shoot them. And I don't know how $100 million worth of gold just goes missing from Pearson International Airport. It sounds like something from a Willis movie, right? It sounds like you expect to have like multiple layers of terrorists taking over, and it's just vanished. There's no story. There's nothing to report on because it's just gone.
But I appreciate your effort in reporting on it.
Did you hear about that? In third world countries in Africa, they're really, really, really corrupted over in Africa.
They're really, really corrupt in America too, Frankie.
Good luck finding a government that's not. Again, content we'll have to cut out for TV.
So
fun fact, Africa as a continent has been shown to be splitting. There's parts of landmass that, based on measurements, photos, and all sorts of documentation from 100 years ago, 50 years ago, and current has shown that the plates under Africa are shifting and the continent itself is splitting in two. So Africa is actually doing some kind of wild stuff at the moment. I mean, it's been doing it for a while. We're just starting to notice.
Well, and some other really big news that's happening on the Pacific plate. I don't know if you heard about this one, but there's been leaks detected in the ocean floor that are allowing this warm liquid substance to break through the mantle in the subduction zone here off the Pacific coast. And that liquid is generally believed to be a lubricant. So that allows plates to slide kind of nicely, right? And if you remove that lubricant, eventually things get more locked, and then they have a major mega thrust earthquake, right? So
yes, that happened in 1700 AD, a long time ago. 1700 AD, they had a mega thrust earthquake off the coast of Vancouver, British Columbia. That Vancouver wasn't even built yet back then.
Well, so different.
People of Vancouver, you can't escape major earthquakes forever, can you, Frankie?
You can't escape major earthquakes forever. And India will be in the monsoon season a couple months away. Then India's into their summer now. They're getting extremely hot temperatures in India, as of right now, including New Delhi and Mumbai, India, and those places, they're getting really hot temperatures. This is their summertime right now. And temperatures really, really hot in India. As of right now, it gets extremely hot, like over in Thailand, Cambodia, Bangladesh, and all these places. Thailand, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Vietnam, and those places, they're in the summer right now. They're getting extremely hot temperatures as of right now. And once a couple of months later, their summer comes to an end. When our summer starts, they'll be in the monsoon season there.
I don't know if I can share this one. I'm reading about the mad pooper of Colorado has been found and identified, and they're claiming it's a First Amendment issue, their right to poop on people's lawns.
Over in
Not
Nepal.
a new argument. Definitely not a new argument.
Over in Nepal. Southern Nepal is really, really, really hot as of right now. It's really cold up in northern Nepal because of the Mount Everest and mountains there.
So meanwhile, in India, two people, a couple, a 38 and 35-year-old couple, that had set up a guillotine so that their heads would roll into a fire altar as part of a sacrifice in a tiny village of Vinchaya in the state of Gujarat. The quote is from the couple first prepared an altar before putting their heads under a guillotine-like mechanism held by a rope. As soon as they released the rope, an iron blade fell on them, severing the heads, which rolled into the fire.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just like a Halloween prop setup. Because I mean, I got a guillotine in my basement, but it's all Halloween prop. It's, you know, it's got this nice balsa wood blade, and I mean, you can get some splinters from it if you jam your head in there, but it's certainly not going to sever anything. So I'm actually impressed that someone actually went, you know, built it and went through with it. That's not common, and it is dedication to idea, I guess, a prank. Doesn't seem like a real good prank, but good for them.
You know, I try not to cut my own head off. So Florida man has had his leg eaten by an alligator. So he was airlifted to hospital. It's not known what his condition is at this time. They tracked the alligator and saw the foot at that time. So the reptiles were killed and the foot was retrieved. They got the leg. It was with the gator that they knew bit him. So they've got both gators that were in the pond, which unfortunately, that's what they had to do, says a former paramedic. So once again, everybody in Florida, stay away from the water. There's alligators in it.
Stay away from water. That means especially it could be algae at the beaches in Florida. That means the dog lets people know before the shark comes. The dog scents the sharks. Dog scents the alligators and the alligator comes. The dog barks before the alligator comes.
Yep, have your dogs around for alligators. Brandon, what can you tell us about the 13-year-old boy who got stuck in the claw bending machine? How did this happen?
Oh, yes, the claw machine, North Carolina. So this is at an amusement park here, and this I think 13 or 14. He's in his teenager years there, and he decided he wanted to get this prize. So instead of paying for the prize, he decided to climb into the claw machine there and climb right through. And well, he ended up inside the claw machine with all the toys around him. And yeah, he got stuck in there. So he had to get rescued from inside the claw machine. And so eventually out of this amusement park, he didn't get to walk away with his favorite toy or whatever he was trying to get from that claw machine there. And he got banned for a couple of years from the amusement park for climbing into the claw machine. Which is awesome.
As for next week, Weyburn, Saskatchewan, Estevan, Saskatchewan, temperatures is going to get warmer later on next week. And the warm temperature is going to return. That's going to melt some snow in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, Estevan, Saskatchewan, and southeastern Saskatchewan. As for Africa right now, Sudan and southern Sudan and Ethiopia is extremely hot, above 40 Fahrenheit, including Chad, Mali, Niger and Nigeria and Ghana, those places as well. Extremely hot there right now.
Down in Georgia, a woman has been charged with faking a pregnancy in order to get 7 weeks of paid time off from her job. And she's fabricated photos of children. Apparently, this isn't the first time they found. She's facing 3 counts. So this woman's been going around. She's taken multiple weeks off work and got paid for it. And then turns out that she's got no children. And
Okay, so is she the only parent who doesn't irritate coworkers with unwanted photos of her children? I mean, you can only play it out to a certain point before it just falls apart. Is this all at the same job? Did she just work menial jobs and switch between them trying to scam maternity leave? Like, there's so much more questions. Why?
so she's 43 years old, and she told elaborate lies while working as the director of external affairs at the Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. She informed the agency about her pregnancy in May 2021, in late 2020, and claimed to give birth in 2021. Folsom's colleagues grew suspicious. Though Folsom had a baby bump, one of her colleagues noticed something wasn't right about it. It was a pillowcase or something.
It was lumpy. It was pointy. Was it pointy?
It was
She
a fake
forgot to take
pregnant
it.
stomach.
She forgot to take the pillow out of the box before putting it under her shirt. Is that what happened? I love everything about this.
Yeah, this is a good one. I mean, she got 7 weeks of paid leave that should otherwise not have been given. And Georgia, they can get up to 12 weeks. Bill signed on May 5th, granted them 3 weeks of paid paternal leave. Only 3 weeks, eh?
As for this time right now, a lot of Antarctic scientists are leaving Antarctica, including Amundsen, Scott, Sopo Station, McMurdo Station, because their winter's coming up on June 21st. Down at Amundsen, Scott, Sopo Station, Antarctica, there'll be less scientists than once again up in North Pole and Northwest Territories is still extremely cold right now. It's around minus 27 degrees Celsius and minus 30 up in Northwest Territories. And once again, at the end of May, there'll be 24-hour daylight up there.
So 24 hours of daylight in the winter?
Summer.
Okay, in the summer. Cool, I guess. I mean, you can barbecue at any time of day. That's neat.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Up around where Google took note of it and get 24-hour daylight on June 21st as well.
So I see that some of those snowfall warnings or some of those wind warnings but still for the southern Gulf Islands and Victoria, still 70 to 90 gusts expected. All the other warnings have been dropped though. But meanwhile, Saskatchewan, all its snowfall warnings have been dropped. But Manitoba, you can expect it Friday morning, 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters may occur by Friday morning, the Red River Valley. So my concern about that one, Brandon, is the Red River Valley. What do you?
And there's a major flood when the snow melts that can cause Red River Valley to flood. Joel Stover, and if it goes to Winnipeg, better watch out.
Yeah, what's anyone got? There's a flood warning right now for northwestern Minnesota.
Yeah, so they've had quite a significant snowpack in especially North Dakota and the parts of Minnesota there this year. So already a concern there with the Red River because the Red River flows up from South Dakota and Minnesota. So all that water will eventually move into southern Manitoba. So we'll be watching that in the days to come, or in the weeks to come at least, once we get into that more so that snow melt. And we've already had some flood issues in southern Saskatchewan. I believe Swift Current last week was under a state of emergency there for flooding issues there. So we're gonna have to watch southern Saskatchewan as well for once all the snow that we've had over last couple of days melts off here. We're going to get into some possible flooding in parts of Saskatchewan as well. And we've also had some flood issues on the Assiniboine River in Manitoba too. So yeah, it is that time of season, that's for sure. Waiting on the snow to melt and seeing what happens.
So definitely flood warnings in places like Melita, Verdon, of course, and then south of Winnipeg. And still lots of no flooding reports, but the concern is definitely what's going to happen when all this snow.
Oh,
My Meowie always shows up right when there's a camera on. He's been gone for hours, but he doesn't care. As soon as there's a camera on, Meowie wants to be on TV.
And I got something to say. There's a flood in Base Guy's area. It's a flood warning for Base Guy's area. There's a possible flood where Base Guy is located in St. Anne, Quebec.
Thanks for a broken pipe. There was a flood in my apartment this morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was actually pretty horrific. So, cleaned up now, and I'm happy that maintenance showed up and, did a thing, but it's also worth noting that maintenance kind of caused the flood. So that was an added bonus.
oh wow.
Meowie just wants to run to his dish, but I want him to say hi to everybody, but he doesn't understand.
Your cat hates you.
No, he doesn't. He sleeps with me every night and cuddles, and he's my best friend.
As
My
he
cat
should be.
hates you with your bunny ears there.
Well, yeah.
Mouse ears or whatever. He's like, if he saw that, he'd be at the screen trying to attack your ears. That's what he does. We watch movies of mice, and Meowie
Goes after him.
sometimes, yep. Sometimes he does.
Awesome. Well, speaking of animals, there's a bear this week that broke into somebody's car, and there was a couple of cases of pop in this person's car in BC. And the bear, well, he drank 69 regular pops from this car. So, yeah, that would be an epic burp to hear after that. And he left all the diet soda, but he went after the regular soda. It's pretty awesome.
That's the funny part.
I would love to hear a bear belch after that. Yeah, that'd be delightful. Oh my God.
How is it that animals can tell what aspartame is compared to sugar when we can't?
Well, I can tell. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can tell too, but
we choose to drink it. They choose not to. The bear chose to avoid the aspartame. So good for him. Speaking of animal updates, my little dog friend Sabian has come out of his surgery. He had a grand mal seizure on March 24th, and he was very lucky to be alive. He was later diagnosed as having a glioblastoma brain tumor, and the surgery was just yesterday or Monday. So just recently came out of surgery, and he's doing really well. We've actually got a little GoFundMe set up for him, but he's recovering. He's growing his hair back. It's weird seeing him all shaved down because don't shave a short-haired dog. It just isn't right. So it's a little funny seeing him, but he's getting back to his old self again. He's going to be on either radiation or chemotherapy treatment for a little while, but he's doing good. So my little dog friend is doing good. He's doing well, and we're hoping that his recovery continues and all that good stuff.
Right now, up in Greenland, it's minus 27 degrees in the north central Greenland. It's really cold still up there right now in Greenland.
There's a flock of feral sheep that's running amok in this village in Wales, South Wales. I can't even pronounce the village name if I try to. It's like Comedeorological. It's
Welsh. Welsh language doesn't use vowels.
It's got commas in the middle of the word, apostrophes in the middle of the word and stuff. But so this week in Comedeorological, South Wales, families have stopped their children from playing outside because of mounds of sheep muck, and these feral sheep are attacking people and stuff, I guess, right? So I got up one morning and there was 2 sheep in the garden, so we shooed them on, and they just kept coming back and back. And now the animals have returned in large numbers. They're everywhere.
That's awesome.
There's literally mounds of sheep muck, and it's everywhere. It's a nightmare. We've given up chasing them away because they've got nowhere to go, so they just come back.
we hear
I know where
stories
they
of
could go.
wolves in sheep's clothing. What about sheep acting like wolves?
I know where they could go. in the crock pot.
The crock pot. Oh, that's a great place. Yeah.
Like you got a problem with too many sheep?
Lamb.
Like,
Lambs.
you know, in America that wouldn't be an issue. Just be like, get them.
Get them.
It's coming right for us.
I wouldn't mind a leg of lamb for dinner. That sounds good to me.
Man, that'd be really awesome.
Never been a fan. I've had it prepared a lot of different ways, and I've really liked it.
Oh, you have to try my mom's leg of lamb with
See,
the onion sauce. Oh my goodness. That's good stuff. Okay. I'm gonna make
everyone says that. Everyone says, "Oh, you've got to try it my way." No, I don't. I mean, I appreciate that you like it, but it's still lamb. It still tastes like lamb.
When someone says you should try it my way, I'm like, awesome. I don't have to cook. This is.
Yeah, but you're eating something you don't want to eat.
Who says I don't want to eat it? I've had lamb. I grew up on a farm, man. I eat things. Mom, do I eat things?
Is your mom still there?
She's still here.
Oh, okay.
There and the kids. It was my birthday this week, and I turned 34, and my whole family came.
5 facts and myths that people are sick of hearing. Let's dig into this thing.
Oh, wait, if we're sick of hearing it,
why would you bring it up
subject
again?
it to us?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
And see if I can pull this up here.
No one's got anything better, I guess. So 5 things that people are sick of hearing.
Okay.
I got one.
Here, you ready for this? The red juice seeping out of your steak isn't blood, it's water, plus a protein called myoglobin. Even rare steak is bloodless. Did you know that?
Yes, and that's why I like it rare. And blue rare is good because sometimes I can't eat a whole steak half the time anymore. Even though I'm only 34, I can't eat as much as I used to. And but you have it rare, and then at least you can put it back in the frying pan with your eggs in the morning, and it's not a piece of leather.
There you go. That's right. Medium rare. Way to go. Also, did you know brown eggs aren't healthier than white? It's just the different type of chicken. Did you know? It's a different type of chicken. Mm-hmm.
I found it though. Monica has a new rooster. His name is Eddie.
I like it.
And Eddie doesn't lay eggs because he's a rooster.
Thank you for the update on Monica. How is she?
She's doing good so far, and she's just taking care of hens, and she's taking care of dogs too, and she's doing great so far these days. She lives in Bonaventure, Quebec still.
She does. Is she back on Facebook, or is she still doing her
She's
own
back on Facebook. I repeat, she's back on Facebook now.
Oh, good.
What else you got, Brandon?
Okay, so introverted doesn't always mean you're shy. A better definition is introverts tend to feel drained if they socialize too much, and extroverts are the opposite. There you go.
Yeah, that's why I live in the mountains.
That's why you live in the mountains. That's right.
I do like my flurry of extroversion, but what else you got?
And then Chat GPT is conscious. It doesn't think, feel, or understand anything, or at least not yet. But people act like it's God or something.
What is Chat GPT?
I don't know.
It's the thing that will destroy us all eventually, and I can't wait. So here's weather myths and conceptions. First person to buzz in gets the point. True or false? Tornadoes and hurricanes cause the most injuries and damage.
Hailstones can cause most injuries. Hailstones can break bones.
Frankie.
I'm going to go flooding.
Yeah, I'm just saying false. That was a true or false question. He wasn't asking for more data.
In reality, droughts, floods, and wildfires cause the most injuries and deaths every year.
Woo!
Number 2.
And
True or false?
Hailstones can
Lightning-
cause things.
True or false? Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
False.
False.
Lightning
about you,
strikes
Frankie?
wherever it damn well
There'll be
wants.
an odd time because lightning could strike the same place twice if you have a lightning rod.
Oh, some places, sometimes a one lightning bolt, what you think is one lightning bolt, there's actually many lightning bolts going. Right?
Yeah.
And they're all striking the same spot?
So yes, lightning definitely can strike the same spot. Seeking shelter under a tree will keep you safe.
False.
False.
It'll get you blown up by lightning.
Yep.
And trees
Sometimes
falling
the
on you is
lightning can hit the roof of the house. Down Florida, lightning can hit somebody's roof of the house.
Oh yeah. Same in Alberta.
Doorways are the safest place to be during earthquakes.
False.
It would depend when your home was built. That's
So
the
false.
Yes.
Doorways will protect you from nothing.
True or false? You can safely drive your vehicle through floodwaters.
Well, if you're driving a submarine.
And Brandon's not even amused. He's like, I said this last week on the show.
Yeah,
What was
that-
it? What was the saying you had there? If it's brown, turn around.
Turn around, don't drown.
If it's
That's-
brown, turn
No,
around.
turn around, don't drown.
If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, turn around, don't drown.
That is just, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's just right there like a fortune cookie for you.
Speaking
True or
of fortune-
false? Opening the windows will help equalize the pressure in your house during a tornado.
Let's say true. Why not?
Eh.
False.
So I mean, you got 500-kilometer-an-hour winds are coming along, but I'm gonna open my window. That's gonna make a difference.
Well, at the very
Yeah.
least, you might get a little bit less broken glass. Maybe.
You know, before the storm smashes your windows out.
With a
before it
tree.
before it
Yeah,
wipes your
that's
house off
right,
the
yeah,
foundation.
Before it whips a hubcap through your window.
Here's a special guest, Fred the Bear. Hi, Frankie. How you doing? I'm doing great.
Frankie
so
Bear's
far.
back.
I'm Fred the Bear. I'm back on the Joey Only Show. I'm doing great so far. How's your day, Frankie? I'm doing really well. I'm ready for Frankie Donald's birthday. Things are great so far. I'm Fred the Bear. Frankie's birthday is coming up on Monday, April 24, 2023. Frankie Donald's going to be 39 years old. See you soon. Bye for now.
Yay, Fred the Bear. You tell Frankie we all say happy birthday, Frankie McDonald. Frankie, don't forget, you're going to be 39 years old on Monday.
Yes.
39. And good to see you, Fred the Bear. Fred the Bear, does Fred the Bear know if a tornado can cross lakes and rivers?
Tornadoes can't cross lakes and rivers. It could be water spouts.
There you go. You heard it from Fred the Bear. So there you go. And then we've come to the end of our show, which was a little discombobulated. I was a little unprepared because I had my eyes glued to the TV right to the last moment. Epic win. And I think Frankie's hockey predictions are wrong. I mean, let's just, before we go, Winnipeg, how is it going? I mean, Winnipeg will know better than us by the time this airs in Winnipeg. But
Frankie's predictions are never wrong. Frankie knows what's up.
the score is
That
1-0
means
Winnipeg, and they're elite. They're ahead in the series, Frankie.
I analyze those weather models before I even do my weather reports.
Excellent. Frankie, we love you. Where can we find you online?
My Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDonald984. My Clapper is FrankDonald984. My Twitch is FrankieDonald984. My Snapchat is Frankie AMCDON. And my Twitch is Frankie MacDonald984. My LinkedIn is Frankie Donald. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie Donald. You're listening to me, Roger Weather Report. Caribou Weather Do with Joey Only every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. I will, all you guys will see me on Base Guy Show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All you guys will see me on Base Guy Show at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
I might just tune in. Yes, might just. And if I don't, tell Jack we say hi because we love Jack Casey. Anyways, that's the show. That's Frankie McDonald. I'm Joey Onleo here in Wells, British Columbia. And you're hearing us on the Comedeorological Radio Network, man. Seaford, CKW, CFBX, Shaw, Spotlight. Man, we are slowly growing. And you can find every episode of this show ever on my YouTube channel, Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. And you can also find cool videos about us fighting forest fires and thunderstorms and weather reports for this week. I'm always putting something new on there, so do check in. And of course, the Brandon Hauk reports always come out early on my channel as well. We've had Brandon Hauk with us in Brooks, Alberta, Hilding Donaldson with us in Grassy Plains, British Columbia, and Imogen Cookie Bailey down there in Victoria. That's the show for this week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Stay dry, stay safe, and enjoy the spring weather because it will come soonish.
You forgot to wish me happy birthday on April 24th.
Happy birthday on April 24th, Frankie. Everybody, let's sing. Happy birthday to Frankie. Happy birthday to Frankie. Happy birthday, dear Frankie. Happy birthday to Frankie.
Donald.
And even the kids say happy birthday, Frankie.
Happy birthday, Frankie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday from my mom and from the kids and from me. And you're right, we did forget to wish you happy birthday, Frankie. And Frankie, at 12:01 on my birthday in the morning, he's messaged me, happy birthday, Joey. So that's what kind of guy he is. Okay, see you next week, everybody. Bye for now.
Happy birthday, Frankie.
The next step is editing, major editing for the TV.
Yes, it is.
It's going to
Yeah.
be major editing for TV.
Not major editing, but there's some editing.
Willow says hi, Frankie.
Hi, Frankie.
I'm doing great so far. People down in Europe are saying hi to me, in Switzerland, in Sweden.
And here's Waylon.
On Joey
Frankie.
Only. How you doing? I'm doing great so far. And you might get somebody in Europe on Joey Only show one day.
That'd be nice, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Waylon's a big Frankie fan. Say
Yes,
happy
hard to
birthday,
get
Frankie.
somebody in
Happy
United
birthday,
Kingdom on
Frankie.
Happy birthday, Frankie, from everybody.
for everybody. I think
Yeah.
we might get somebody from Japan on.
That'd be cool. We need to get people from who are different on.
Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania.
Because when we have guests on, I talk less, and the show is better.
I mean, you could get somebody in third world country on your show one day.
I'll try. I don't know anybody in the third world country.
Michael Senikov. He's in Ukraine.
I suppose, but I don't really know him. I think Pete's mad at me right now.
Why is Pete mad at you? What did you do?
I think he finally figured it out.
Well, why
You
do you
still
think he's
love
mad
him?
at you?
I still love him. Still want him back.
Did
You just
Abdu
Had
Sanko
to
send
get
you
the
pictures?
production memos. That's all, Pete. Just need to get the production memos. We'll have you back. We love you.
Did Abdu Sanko from Africa send you pictures last year of their flood?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Might be
And
interested to get him
Frankie's
sometime.
gone. Doing his
That's a good-
Frankie thing.
That's a good point. Yeah, I need to. This week it was kind of hard because I actually didn't even want to have a show this week because I had the kids here all week and mom here, and I just felt like I just want to be home. And then the hockey game was on tonight as well. I was just like, I'm totally not feeling show worthy or ready. Blah blah blah, right? But then we're like, well, with Shaw Cable is officially putting us on the fucking TV now, so be a professional and get your shit together, Joey.
I think we had a good show.
I kind of want to just take a week off again, but you know what? It was good. It was good. We got pressured, and the fact that it was a 7-2 Toronto lead, that made it really easy to go on the air. That it wasn't like it wasn't 2-1 Tampa with 2 minutes to go, but a power play for Toronto and the goalie pulled, and like I did not want to look or you know, when you feel like that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So I'm probably gonna shut her down here in a few minutes because we haven't eaten anything, and I never eat on show nights. And whenever I do, I just get bad indigestion. So it's, you know,
Wait till the show's over, huh?
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. This is the sacrifice that we and the commitment we have for the show.
And of course, if you didn't have indigestion before, you got it when I told you about the pregnant cow.
That I didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I mean, I remember one of my birthdays actually. Everybody in the family, like all my aunts and uncles were there, but then a calf got turned around and everybody was out in the field for like hours. And I just like was in the house by myself, like 8 years old, you know, like
Yeah.
it's my birthday and everyone. And I was so mad at that stupid calf. And then, but then the next day I saw the calf. I was like, wow. Or, you know, later that day, I was like, it's the miracle calf from my birthday. I'm going to love this cow forever. But then like 3 months later, it was like super annoying, like cows all get. It's like, get away from me.
Wow.
And then another one of my birthdays, mom went to Europe.
Oh yeah. Did you see the history guy article about the invention of the chainsaw being used to help women give childbirth rather than for cutting wood? Chainsaw was actually invented for that purpose, to help women have childbirth.
Right.
But
So
the
that's like
interesting thing is
when you're at your worst, you're like, that's when you take the chainsaw and you cut your husband's head off.
well, here's a funny one. Out here at Grassy Plains, there were some city slicker guys that came out here one year and decided they were going to buy this ranch, and they're going to show all these ranchers how to do things, right? So they have this cow that has a calf gets hip locked, right? And all the ranchers around know when a calf is hip locked, you push it back in, get it unlocked, and then pull it, right? Well, they put the pullers on, they pulled and pulled and pulled. The cow started getting stressed out and started choking. They decided the cow was going to die. They're going to saw her open with a chainsaw and take the calf out, at least save the calf. So they fired up a chainsaw, and the cow revived herself, kicked herself loose from the puller, and headed off through the bush with a great big slash on her leg where they'd started cutting her with a chainsaw. And they chased her for 3 days and finally caught her, tied her to a tree. She had the calf. The calf was nursing, and the cow was dying and was bleeding to death. They
Those guys should
tied
be
her to a
arrested.
tree and had a vet come out and sew the cow up.
Those guys should be arrested.
Well, they should have been. I don't know. They had to pay a fine for it because of the animal cruelty. But the farmers all around were just laughing their heads off. Like, if the guys that had just pushed the calf back in, they could have pulled it right out. You know?
Instead, they're gonna saw the cow up.
Yeah.
While it's alive.
While it was alive, yes.
Yeah, that's gonna go well.
Oh.
Well, on that note, eh?
So the troubles of calving and raising cows in the bush country, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you something here.
Mhm.
Last thing before we go, it's gonna take me a minute.
Yep.
It's gonna take me a minute to find, but it'll be worth it. Oh. Okay, wait. I'm almost there. Almost. Now wait.
All right, I gotta run. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Imogen. Okay, so here's this. All right. And there's Meowie. He's hunting.
Oh my.
And that's how we'll leave you this week on the show. Meowie hunting squirrels. He loves watching TV, this guy. Told you.
Poor little squirrel didn't know how close he came to being dinner, huh?
You're kind of blocking the whole screen though, Meowie. You know, it's because his chair's pushed in. Can't watch from his chair. That's what Meowie likes to do. He likes to watch TV. He's a very silly guy. Anyways, I think that's the show this week, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Please subscribe and please. And even when Brandon waves his finger, he's looking at your finger there. Yeah. There you go.